I don't know whether a Republican between the 30 and 40 yard line on the conservative end, I'm not sure someone like that can win a Republican nomination in 2012. And when you think of the difficulty, you know, in my mind, Romney was probably a 30-yard line guy. And look at the difficulty he had winning the nomination. And where at varying points starting from the summer of 2011, Michelle Bachmann, Herman Cain, Rick Santorum, you know, then you get to Perry and Gingrich. Why, they never even looked at John Huntsman. They didn't really look at Tim Pawlenty, and they only went to Mitt Romney after all the other ones were dead. You know, and he was the one that logic would have suggested they'd have gone to initially. And so it was only with great reluctance did they go with someone as moderate as Mitt Romney. And so I guess what I'm getting at is even before the bridge thing, I think Chris Christie would have had a very, very, very difficult time winning a Republican nomination. I think if he were, to be honest, I think Jeb Bush, if he runs, and I'm pretty doubtful about whether he runs, but if he runs, I think Jeb Bush would have a very difficult time winning a Republican nomination. And putting aside the family considerations, what are the two issues that mean the most personally to Jeb Bush? My guess is they're immigration and education, with a strong support for the Common Core curriculum. The Republican Party is moving away from him on these two issues that matter the most to him, you know, and is he going to chase after him and compromise his own principles on things that are really near and dear to his heart? I think it would be very, very, very smart for Republicans to nominate somebody in that space. But I'm not sure someone in that space can win the nomination. And so, you know, you've got Huckabee, Santorum, and Perry as the three past candidates that would be running this time. And I'm not, you know, none of those I would consider in that space. Then you've got the Tea Party senators, Rand Paul, Ted Cruz. Now they're, you know, conservative / libertarian, so a little bit of a variation on it. To be honest, you know, of the governors running, Bobby Jindal, that might run, Bobby Jindal, Mike Pence, John Kasich, Rick Snyder, Scott Walker, of those five, I think Kasich would be probably the close. I don't know anything about Rick Snyder. I've never met the guy. I don't know. But Kasich would be the closest thing to a 30-yard line guy in the bunch. And then, you know, Rubio is sort of doing his own thing, and I don't know whether immigration is going to hurt him, but he's a very impressive guy. I don't think Paul Ryan's going to run. I don't think Rob Portman, I know he sort of hinted that he was interested last week, but I don't think he's going to run. So that I think that the Republican nomination is very, very, very likely to go to someone who is in the John Kasich or more conservative. That Kasich would be the least. I mean, Kasich's a pretty conservative guy, but that Kasich is about as close to the middle as I think Republicans are likely to go, and that some of these people are, you know, if they're not past the goal line and in the end zone, they're at least on the 1 or 2 yard line, but definitely in the red zone. I don't think Jeb Bush is going to run, and I think you're going to have a lot of, you know, I think it's going to be a pretty wide open thing.